بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. I would like to welcome you all to the RCA webinar. My name is Anas Al-Ghamdi. I work as a sales and marketing specialist at Reliability Expert Center. And today we will present to you the RCA webinar. Before I introduce you to our instructor, I would like to point out a few important points. This is a 1 hour webinar session in which the first 30 to 40 minutes our instructor will go through the slides, and you can write down all your questions in the chat box. Our instructor will answer as many as he can after the presentation. Now let me introduce you briefly about our instructor. Mr. Abdulaziz Al-Ghamdi has 40 years of experience with Saudi Aramco, SABIC and REC, trained more than 6,000 trainees in RCA, established the RCA system at SABIC. Mr. Abdulaziz, the mic is yours. You are muted, Mr. Abdulaziz.
No, I'm okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everybody. I'm very pleased to be here with you today. We'll talk about root cause analysis. We will talk in the beginning. We'll just introduce the root cause analysis in a very basic way. We'll talk about the RCA process. Okay. Then we will talk about how we establish root cause analysis in the organization. Then we will talk about the effectiveness of root cause analysis. I know 30 minutes or 40 minutes is not enough to cover all the subject. I have many slides. I will go through it. Some of the slides I'll just do it very quickly. Some of the slides I'll spend more time to talk about it. I'll be happy to receive all your questions. So if you have any questions, just raise it up. If it is immediate, it's okay if you raise it, and I'll do my best to answer it. I'll spend the last 20 minutes or 15 minutes answering your question. And if we need more time, you can feel free to stay after 8, and I will answer if you have any special question or some quick consultation, then I will answer it for you. Okay, let's start. When we talk about root cause analysis, it is always part of, we consider it always part of reliability. So it cannot be just stand alone, even though some of the company, some of the organization, they like to start always with the root cause analysis because it helps them a lot with their solving their problem. As some of you know and or read or heard, that the root cause analysis is a problem solving. It's a systematic process for identifying the fundamental cause of the failure. So if we have a failure, if we have a problem, doesn't matter that problem is a problem in the plant, safety problem or reliability problem or a production problem. It's always something that we face difficulty with it, and we want to prevent it from reoccurring. Everybody working on the RCA, working in the investigation, even the people who doesn't know a lot about root cause analysis, they have that feeling that they can solve any problem, and they have that feeling that they can find the root cause. Inshallah, today I will go through the process, and I will try to explain the simplest way to reach to the root cause. Before we start talking about the root cause, there are 3 things that I would like to talk about it. I would like to talk about the problem. I would like to talk about the cause and the symptoms. Because I see a lot of people mixing between the problem and the symptoms, and some of them try to solve what they believe it is a problem, but in reality, it's only a symptom of the problem. And I will give you just an example where we can differentiate between the problem and the symptoms and the cause. If somebody, just simple problem, health problem, if somebody come and tell you today I have a very bad headache, then people will not think about it as a problem or not thinking about it as a symptom. They will always jump without even collecting enough data or analyzing that data. They will jump to the solution. So from what they believe is a problem, okay, what they believe is a problem, they will go immediately to the solution or what they think it is a solution. So they will immediately tell, okay, take a Panadol. So that's the answer that they have from their knowledge, from their experience. Unfortunately, because they are not the right people to solve this problem. They are not a subject matter expert. But if you go to the doctor, if you go to the right person, which is the subject matter expert, and in this case, he's a doctor, then what he will do, first, he will try to understand what is the real problem. So he will start asking questions, collecting certain data, not to solve the problem, but to understand the problem itself. So he may check the temperature, the pressure. He may ask a couple of questions, just try to understand what is the problem. Okay, so he may check the ear, maybe he check the eye, maybe he ask for a couple of questions, and maybe he will ask the patient to open his mouth. The only thing he's doing this, the reason he's doing this is he's trying to understand what is the problem. Okay, then at the same time, he will start thinking about certain possible cause. So as soon as he collects data, there is some certain possible cause that comes to his mind based on what he have learned, but based on his experience. So he will immediately identify 2 or 3 or 4 possible causes. One thing I would like to mention that if he find out that this problem is not related to him because he's not the specialist, then he will refer the patient to another doctor. Okay, so he will identify the problem, then he will identify the possible cause, and in order for him to prove or eliminate those possible causes that he identified, he may request additional data or for certain thing to analyze. He may request a blood sample, he may request an X-ray, maybe he will request other things. So he will identify the problem, he will identify the possible cause, he will analyze extra data just to verify those possible cause is correct or not, in order for him to reach to the root cause. So how he will reach the root cause? He will identify, let's say, for example, he will identify 3 possible causes. He will eliminate the first one, the second one, the third one. If he proves the third one is a true cause, then he will analyze that cause more in order for him to reach to the root cause. Okay. Now, if we go with the first thing, which is we jump from what we think is a problem to the solution, for the doctor, he will not consider the headache is a problem, even though it is a problem for the patient. But for the doctor, for the subject matter expert, it will not be a problem. It is only a symptoms for something wrong, for other thing that created the headache is a result of the problem, which is only a symptoms. And normally the doctor will not, it will not be his priority to solve the symptom. His priority is to identify the real problem, identify the real root cause. Then he will be able to give the right solution. Okay, so if we only fix the symptoms, the problem will certainly happen again. So we always try to avoid having the team to solve the symptoms, because we will see the problem happen again and again. Now, in our life, in our working life, in our business, we buy something, or we design it, or we build it, and we try to run it, make it run. So if we buy a car and that car will be running, that car, doesn't matter how long it will run, even if it is a new, one day we will have a failure with it. One day we may have a problem with the battery, or a problem with the flat tire, or a problem with the engine. So we will have a failure. And if we have a failure, then we will take it to the maintenance. If we took it to the maintenance, it will be there. And when we reach to the shop or to the maintenance, we will ask them basically the two questions that everybody's asking: how long it will take and how much it will cost. And same thing happen even with a big plant. Even when the plant is shut down or production, we have a problem with production, we always go to maintenance, and we will ask them those two questions: when the equipment will be returned and how much it will cost. Okay, so here what we always wanted to understand is exactly what is the problem and how can we prevent it from happening again. Now, looking at the failure, okay, looking at this failure, we know that this failure can only be solved if we have a systematic process, if we are following the right root cause analysis process. In order for us to identify it, we need to understand what is the failure, what is the possible causes, what is the data that we need to collect, how do we analyze those data in order for us to reach to the root cause. Now, the failure, we consider it a failure if we did not achieve the targets. So for everything, we have a target to achieve. If we did not achieve the target, that's a failure. If we achieved the target, but we exceeded the time, that's also a failure. And even if we exceeded the budget, that is a failure. So the failure we consider a failure is a failure if we don't achieve the target, or we exceeded the time, or we exceeded the budget. Okay, so those are the three things that we always consider part of the how we consider the failure, or the definition for the failure. Now, in a petrochemical or oil or a refinery or wherever manufacturing, all the data that comes here that is generated inside the plant, we would like to understand the failure. Okay, so the failure that happen inside the plant, we have to have a process in order for us to report those failures. Now, a lot of organizations, they have an incident reporting system, and they have a reliability reporting system. So if you have this is the first step in order for you to be able to see all the failure inside the plant. Of course, there are other software, there are other processes, there are other methods that go along with the root cause, like a reliability center of maintenance, or risk-based inspection, or anything related to operation or maintenance, like a buy system, or like a, of course, we take data also from the CMMS, whether it is a subsystem or Oracle, but that is the places where we collect the data. Okay, all of this, if we have an excellent incident reporting system, then we will be able to identify
Mr. Abdulaziz, you are muted.
How long I've been muted? Okay, you hear me, Anas, now?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, so if we have an excellent incident reporting system, then we need to be able to report all the incident. So there are different type of incident that may be a safety incident like a fire or explosion or injury or fatality. If we have a health problem, okay, if we have environmental problem, if we have a security problem, all of those incidents need to be reported for RCA to be able to conduct the right RCA. Of course, we have an equipment failure, we have bad actor, we have shutdown, we have production loss, we have quality. From all my experience, I found people are doing almost very good and excellent in this side where is the safety. I found a lot of organization does not have enough reporting of failure and incident from the other side, which is the reliability. Of course, when they have equipment failure, they raise work order or work request to repair it. If they have a bad actor like a repeated incident, sometimes they do an RCA. If they have a production loss, if it is a small production loss, they will try to recover it, but they don't do RCA. That is why we see two things happening at the end of the year. The expense, the maintenance cost increased, and also profitability is less than the target or less than the expected. So I always recommend that you have a strong incident reporting system where you will understand all the incident and you will be able to handle them. Now,
I have a question, please.
Can we leave it at the end, please? If it is important, we will answer it now.
I can. In the end, okay.
Please, because we have 20 minutes and I have many slides. I have about 60 slides and I don't think I will be able to finish all the 60 slides. And if you have a special thing, I will wait for you until I'll make sure I will not leave until I answer all the questions.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so incident report. When you have a strong incident reporting system, then it will be followed by a classification matrix where we classify the incident, not everything important. We will classify the incident like a class A, B, C, and D, or class 1 and 2 and 3. So we will classify incident like a major incident, a minor incident, and those are very important. So we do not assign big team to do minor incident. We assign big team to do only major incident, but we assign a subject matter expert to analyze some of the minor incidents. Okay, some big organization, not all organization, they will have two methods to do RCA. One method require detailed investigation, and that is only for major incident where the cost normally above 1 million real, or some company even they go for above $1 million. If it is minor incident, like we losing less than 100, or if we have a shutdown for a short period of time, then we only do minor investigation. And minor investigation, sometimes we only use the 5Y to do the minor investigation. We're not using, we are not creating a big team. We are not creating a detailed timeline, which is the sequence of event. Only doing a 5Y immediately. But in major investigation, Of course, we identify problem and sub-problem and possible causes, and we create a sequence of events. That's the timeline. And also we create a detailed fault tree in order for us to reach to the root causes. Okay. When you have a software in place, that software in place, when the safety incident happen or anything, we collect data from CMMS or Oracle or subsystem, or if you have a historian data like a BI system and others, or DCS, then you collect the data, all of it goes to the RCA software. And in the RCA software, of course, you will have the classification matrix. Then you will assign the team to do the investigation. What we want is at the end, we will see it in the dashboard, and we will see the number of stoppage, the number of downtime, the cost, how much we're losing for this. Okay. The simplest. If somebody asks me what do we do when we do RCA, the whole process from the beginning to the end, what we try to do is we try to understand what happened and how did it happen, and why it happened, why we make this mistake, why we have this failure, and why this cause happened. And when we identify the root causes, and then we will be able to develop a solution for that. Now, organization, they use RCA, they use the root cause analysis, they use the investigation process for two areas. They use it whenever they have incidents in health, safety, and environment, and they use it when they have a reliability. Fatality, injury, fire explosion, gas release, spillage, near misses, even in near miss. Or when they have a shutdown or production loss or equipment failure or bad actor, they will use the root cause analysis process to identify the root cause and eliminate the problem. Now, here I want to tell you, if you want to have an effective root cause analysis, then you have to have a complete management system. And a complete management system, I will summarize it very quickly without going into the detail. So if a company wanted to start a root cause analysis, I see a lot of them, they only go with this, they go with the training. So they train their member how to do RCA, but that is not enough. I have seen many organizations, they train their people, but that does not help them a lot. Why? Because they don't have a standard procedure and they don't have a standard method. So when the team come to do the investigation, they use different method, and the team will not have the result of those investigation same. Also, big organization, 500 and more, we always recommend that they will have one person who work as a full-time RCA specialist. Some company, they call him a champion, but he's like a manager who actually drive the whole RCA program. He developed the system. He worked with the investigation team as a facilitator, as a mentor, and helped the investigation team to come up with the right root causes and develop the right solution. Also, he played the quality assurance to make sure that the quality of the investigation is developed with the best outcome of the team. The other thing that we focus on is making sure that the sponsor, some company, they call him appointing authority, the senior management who select the problem to be investigated, and who select the team that will do the investigation. We call them a sponsor. Believe it or not, some of the problem I face is that the problem that was selected for the team is not the correct problem. Sometimes they select the direct cause to be investigated. Sometimes they select symptoms to be investigated. So we always recommend that the sponsor, senior management, attend one-day root cause analysis workshop so they can learn how to develop a problem, how to select the right team, and how to approve the final report. How they will prove that this is the root cause or not the root cause, how they can challenge the team, and how they can accept the recommendation, how can they say this is an excellent recommendation or not. So they need to have just certain things they learn in order for them to help the team reach to the success. Of course, selecting the team is a key success for any investigation. And the last thing I always recommend is to have a software, but the software is the last thing to be taken, not the first things. So people need to learn how to do the investigation. Then after that, they will get the software to help them with the investigation. Now, if RCA is a great method, great tool to help the investigation team come up with the right root causes and develop solution. But it is very dangerous if the team who's assigned to do that investigation is not qualified. So if we really want to reach to get the benefit of RCA by improving the profitability, increasing plant safety and reliability, enhancing problem solving, enhancing the management system, not only for the RCA, but for the whole company, enhancing the quality. If they want to reduce the number of incidents, if they want to reduce the maintenance cost, if they want to reduce the number of failure, then they have to implement the root cause analysis management system correctly. Okay, and normally it doesn't happen in one day. It takes a minimum of 1 year to establish the system correctly and to train the people so they can develop they can carry out the investigation correctly. Now, sometime I go to some company and they wanted to establish root cause analysis, and we always recommend to them they start with the gap assessment so we can tell where are they. Are they reacting to the problem? Are they managing the problem and they know how to manage it? Or, of course, they not very seldom you find a company here in the top. There is, but it is not. Most of the company, I could say 95, 98% of the company, they are always here in the middle. So if we want to conduct a gap assessment, we have a certain process to follow in order for us to tell what is the thing that is going fine, what is the area weakness or area for improvement, then we need to work on it, and we'll come up with something like this. So this company, we made a gap assessment for them. This is where is the RCA in that organization. It was only 24% out of 100. If it is for us, if it is above 60, it is acceptable, but below that it will be very, very means. In this case, if they are very low, what are they doing? They are creating a problem for themselves because they don't select the right problem, they don't select the right team, they assign a team to identify
Mr. Abdulaziz, you are muted again.
Well, I did not do it, Anas. I don't know what's happening with this, but anyway, just keep watching. If you notice that it is off, just let me know, please. So this company, what I was saying is this company, they are rated 24 out of 100. Means what? Means they don't know how to identify the problem. They selected the wrong team. They also cannot identify the right root causes. They develop wrong solution. And what they are doing to themselves, they are creating more and more and more problem. So they are fighting fire all the time, trying to solve the problem, but they are creating more problem for themselves. Okay. This is the type of training we conduct. A specialist awareness, we do a sponsor. This is only 1 day. This is the 3 days. The leader is the 5 days, and that is the leader. We spend more time with them, so they need to understand how they lead an investigation team and how they manage the team more than how they conduct the investigation itself. But of course, they will learn the method. They will learn everything related to the RCA. Okay. Member is a 3 days training for them. Now, when you have an excellent incident reporting system and you train your people very good, you still need to classify the incident. So this is one example from one company, how they classify an incident. So if they just, for example, if they lost production more than 5 days, or they lost more than 10 million real, if they have a shutdown for more than 5 days, and they exceeded 10 million real, then they consider it a major. So we consider Class A, Class B, and Class C as a major incident, which need to be investigated by a full team, a qualified people. If it is a small minor incident, then we just assign 1 or 2 people to conduct investigation, but they must be a qualified people to conduct an investigation. Okay. Normally we have 2 processes for major investigation, for minor investigation, and we assign a team normally for Class A 5 to 7 people, Class B 4 to 6. Class when you get to the last minor incident, you only need 1 person to do the investigation, maximum 3 people if he need help to conduct that investigation. Bad actor, this is a special situation where a repeated incident with the same direct cause, and that cost the company a lot of money related to maintenance or related to production, that we have a special treatment for it, and we conduct major investigation most of the time, but the way we track, the way we monitor bad actor is we have a separate process for it. Okay, now I want to talk about why sometimes the quality of the investigation is very poor. Normally everybody wants a quality investigation. Quality investigation will come from 3 places: a strong team, a qualified team, and also the data. A lot of time, even if you assign a strong team, if the data is not available, they will not be able to come up with the root causes. So data, what is the issue normally with data? Normally the data that we recorded in the CMMS, in the subsystem, on the Oracle, on the inspection reporting system, even operator and supervisor, if they don't document data correctly, then the investigation team who will come to do this will not be able to create a high quality investigation. The last thing is the time or duration for the investigation team they spend conducting the investigation. Sometime I find an investigation report and I ask the people, how long did you spend conducting this investigation? And some of them say 2 months and 3 months, but I'm wondering really, when I ask them the question in a different way, how many hours did you spend conducting this investigation? And the answer is, honestly, the answer is 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours. So we need to look at the duration by the number of hours we spend conducting that investigation, not by saying that we spend 1 month or 2 months to do the investigation. Okay, RCA Specialist, like I say, he developed the management system. He provide guidance and support to the investigation team. He facilitate major investigation, and also he perform quality assurance. He track and monitor all recommendation and RCA, and he conduct very important things every quarter and every at the end of the year. He conducts statistical analysis to identify repeated causes and identify gap within the performance of the company, so he can work with the senior management to eliminate this one from reoccurring in the on the second year. I have a very simple. Hamid, can you wait until the I finish? Then I will give you a chance to ask the question, please. I have very simple investigation. Just I conducted a couple of months ago. Very simple, but I want you to see what happened. Okay, leave this one. I want to jump this with the. I'll go first with the example I have, but before the example, I forgot something. I want to explain to you the process. What do we do to conduct the investigation from A to Z? I'll come back to you, Hamid, okay, for the question. So first of all, an incident will happen, and we identify as a major problem, okay? And this is normally coming from the appointing authority, from the sponsor. As soon as he hands it over to the investigation team will need to split that problem into sub-problems. So we identify problem 1, problem 2, problem 3. How this has happened, let me go back to this one, okay? Let's say here we have a fire. And after the fire, the emergency response came to extinguish the fire, and they took about 2 hours, okay? While they were fighting the fire, one man injured, okay? And when he injured, people come and conducted a first aid for him. And then the ambulance arrived and took him to the hospital. And when he arrived to the hospital, he died at the hospital. Now, if we want to do this, what we will investigate, the fire or the injury or the fatality, normally we select the biggest thing, which is the fatality. So here, what we will do here, we will put, for example, here the fire and here the injury, okay, the second one, injury, and here is the fatality, which is actually, it is also the top problem. So this is, I just want to tell you that if you have a mixed problem like this, you need to break it into sub-problems so you can handle it, okay? So here, this is why we put the fatality in the top. We put the fire emergency response, the injured man, the first aid, the injured man transferred to the hospital, then how we treat him on the hospital. If you cannot analyze, if you cannot divide the problem this way, then the root causes will not be able to identify all the root causes. So probably you will find one here root cause, maybe another root causes here, maybe another root causes here, and you will have a couple of contributing cause. Normally we have more than one root cause, and normally we have more than two contributing causes. Okay, so sometime I found people saying, yeah, for every problem we will have one root cause. That's not true. We always have more than one root causes. Some of the investigation I conducted, I found 3-4 root causes and 5-6 contributing causes. Okay, so after we identify the problem, we'll identify all the possible cause. Then we will take each possible cause and create action for it for data collection. So each possible cause, we create action for data collection. Then we will go back after we analyze all the data to prove that cause or eliminate it. So if we prove it, that it is a true cause, then we will add it here on the timeline. Okay. If we add all what we add in the timeline is only true causes, no possible cause, and no causes without evidence, only true data we added in order for us to identify the scenario of the how the incident happened. Then, of course, here we go, we put the problem, then we put the sub-problem, and we start analyzing, saying why, until we reach to the root cause and the contributing causes. This is the normal process for conducting an investigation. Okay, this is a simple incident that I just conducted a couple of months here in, yes?
Sorry for interrupting, we've still got 15 minutes remaining.
Okay, just give me another 10 minutes.
You are muted.
Not touch it, Anas. Do we mute people and I am part of them? Maybe that's the reason. Type. Anyway, just look at this investigation, that what is the problem and how we investigate it very quickly. Okay. Watch this movie, just a 2-minute movie. See what happened to those people who's working on this office. So you see here, the people notice they heard some noise here. So they start moving, trying to find out what went wrong in this side of the office. And they start seeing smoke, so their supervisor asked them to leave the office, and you see the smoke start coming out. Okay, this incident took less than 2 minutes. Okay, the people just have enough time to run away from the office. Okay, this is you see the fire now started here. You see the people is running away. Okay. Okay, so in 2 minutes, everything happened in 2 minutes. And this is the result. So you see their offices, it's burned out completely in just 2 minutes until the people got out, then everything gone. Now, when we started the investigation, what we found? The fire broke out on the ceiling due to electrical short circuits. Why? Because of wiring installation was not correct. Okay, that is the first reason. The second reason is material used between the roof and the concrete ceiling was a flammable material. So thermocoil is a flammable material. Also the gypsum board, okay, or the ceiling panel and tile are not are not fire resistance. The biggest problem we found is that the sprinkler system did not work. And why the sprinkler system did not work? Because the fire valve was isolated and never commissioned. So you will always find, this is what I want you to reach to, you will always find more than one reason that create the problem, no one reason that create the problem. Of course, I will I summarize everything very quickly without going into detail. Anas, I need another 5 minutes. I'll go through some of the slides very quickly without explaining. When you look for possible cause, find anything possible cause in equipment failure, in management system, and on human error. Timeline, this is the timeline. It's always come after you identify the problem and the possible causes, and you collect the data and you analyze it and you identify, you have evidence for all of this, then you change it to true cause to add it to the problem. Okay, fault tree is the heart of the investigation. So you always start with the with putting the problem here. Then you will ask why. Why did we have a car accident on the highway? Because he hit the tree. Why he hit the tree? Because he lose control. Why he lose control? Because he was driving very fast, and he have a flat tire. We use 5 why to ask why. And this is an example of 5 why. Manhand injury, why? Because he slipped. Why he slipped? Because there is oil spillage in the floor. Why? Because pump leaking oil. Why? Because pump seal failure. Why? Because no BM check. And that one can be considered a root cause. Why we consider this one as a root cause? If you find the bugs that will eliminate this problem, then you can consider it a root cause. The root cause is the main cause of the problem, which is the one that we can prevent from reoccurring. One you can prevent from reoccurring. Normally, it's a management system or human error. Normally, okay. Some people consider all human error is a root cause. Some people consider management system is a root cause. I always recommend that root cause can be equipment failure, it can be management system, and it can be a human error. Okay, this is a contributing cause. Contributing cause is only a cause that help to create the problem. Normally, if you develop a fault tree, please always fill up, write complete sentence inside the box. Don't just write short sentence. Don't write ineffective procedure. Don't write overconfident. Don't write those incorrect training, unqualified, low experience. All of these are things that will not help to do analysis. It will be very difficult to analyze it. Always write specific things. See here, high seal flash ammonia temperature reach more than 32, normally less than 10. So we write the what happened and what is the issue with it inside this in order for us to reach to the root cause. A human error 2 type. There are intentional, there are non-intentional. All intentional is a violation. Okay, so anybody make a violation, that's intentional human error. Okay, all shortcuts are intentional human error. Okay, recommendation, please look at the root cause, develop short or long-term solution, and develop your recommendation. Okay, I will not talk about the report. Key learning is a very important for everybody to learn from their mistake. Statistical analysis, that is by the RCA specialist. He have to conduct a complete statistical analysis so he can prevent causes, he can improve the system, and he can improve the performance of the people. Okay, most of the people is reacting to the problem. if you have excellent incident report, excellent investigation, then you are 100% reacting to the problem. But if you add a system, complete system in the organization, and you learn from the mistake, you track the implementation, you do statistical analysis, you have one procedure, one method, one software, RCA Specialist is helping the team, that is the beginning of a proactive approach, because you will be eliminating not only that root cause, but anything similar to that cause. Anas, I'm done. I'm sorry. I know I want to throw this very, very quickly. Wallahi, I do it in 5 days training, yani I don't do it in 30 or 45 minutes. Just I want to give you a picture of RCA, but we always need more time to understand the root cause analysis. Okay, Anas, go ahead.
I have an announcement. These are the upcoming online training, which are the root cause analysis will be conducted on the 27th of November. Can you go to the next slide, please?
Yes.
For your information, this is a summary of our products and services from Reliability Expert Center. We are based in Jubail, Saudi Arabia, just for those who never heard of us before. We have been existing since 2009, which we provide RCA, reliability, sustainability, lubrication, inspection, operation excellence, process safety, and asset integrity. We provide most of them through softwares, training, and consultation assessment. Please contact us for any kind of support. Can you go to the next slide?
Okay.
There is a feedback form that I will share in the chat. If you are interested in attending the RCA training, just please take 5 minutes to fill the feedback form. And if you have any question related to the webinar, please feel free to ask them if you want. And you can check out the LinkedIn page for the upcoming webinars and training. And thank you all.